What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Full 90. It is time for the Week 16 Premier League predictions. Now, I do just want to say I'm recording this on the 3rd of December because the 4th of December, if you don't know, my main channel is going to be the busiest day of the year. So I'm having to record this a little bit early, so I don't know any of the results of Week 15's games of the Premier League. What was it tonight? We have Palace and Bournemouth. I did say in my video I think they're going to draw, but I have a funny feeling that Palace might be able to edge a win. But I don't know. But still, Man City against Burnley, I do think Man City will win and both teams will score. I said that in my video. I'm still very confident with that one at least. And I'm expecting goals in the Wednesday night games. A lot of goals. But still, I do also want to say that my betting tips Instagram, TF90 Tips, is up and running, off the ground. It will be linked in the description. Head over there, give it a follow. I'll be dropping some tips on different games, maybe some accumulator ideas, bets of the day, that sort of thing, just to try and win you guys some money. Obviously, it is for those who are 18 and over. You know, gamble responsibly. All of that. We're here to have a good time. I want to give a massive shout out to Hey Now, who left their predictions on the previous Premier League video, and they also said that Palace and Bournemouth would draw, but like I said, I'm not entirely sure about that one, but they're backing Man City and both teams to score as well. My guy, you know. And yeah, what do you think about the shirt? Freddy's at the wheel. Too soon. It's too soon. That's not happening. I'm gassed today, apparently. So we are going to look today at the Week 16 Premier League predictions. And as I said, I don't know the results of the previous game, so I might mention what I previously predicted for the previous game, but obviously that's not what actually happened. You guys, when this video goes up, might know, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Kicking it off, we have a very, very interesting one. Everton up against Chelsea. I predicted Chelsea would beat Aston Villa, and I predicted that Everton would lose to Liverpool. I doubt there's going to be many surprises there. If there is, maybe a Chelsea-Villa draw, but I think Liverpool should have Everton beat at Anfield because Everton haven't won at Anfield in the league for 20 years. So this game is going to be a very exciting one. I think it's going to be very, very similar to the Everton-Leicester game where Leicester got that late 2-1 smash-and-grab win. I'm going to go for the same scoreline. I'm going to go for an Everton 2-1 loss. So Chelsea to win 2-1. It's going to be interesting because Chelsea don't have Tammy Abraham at the moment. I don't know if he'll play against Aston Villa. And I think that did hurt them playing against West Ham when they lost 1-0. It's quite surprising. So I don't actually know if Chelsea are going to continue their good form at this point without Tammy Abraham. If they're using Giroud, I'm not entirely sure. And Everton, they always look good for a goal. I did back Everton and Leicester to have both teams to score in that game. That's on the TF90 Tips Instagram. You can see the double I did there. But I think if Chelsea play as well as they have been all season, I have no reason to believe other than the fact that Chelsea should win. So I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win to Chelsea, as I said. But this could easily be a draw. It depends on availability. That is the problem with the festive period. The fixtures are coming so thick and fast. I've got so many videos I need to make. My tips aren't as informed in these videos as they might be, perhaps, say, on my Instagram when they're posted on the day of the game. But the next game is Bournemouth up against Liverpool. So, as I said, I did predict in the video that I think Bournemouth could draw against Crystal Palace, but now I'm not so sure because Bournemouth haven't been... I didn't realise how badly they've been playing lately, but it has been pretty bad. So it wouldn't surprise me if Palace beat Bournemouth and Bournemouth then have to play Liverpool. So I think this is going to be a routine win for Liverpool, even though it's away, even though it's at the Vitality Stadium, against a lesser team, and not even much of a lesser team. I'm talking Arsenal, Wolves, Tottenham. I could see Bournemouth making it difficult for them at the Vitality Stadium, but I think it makes no difference to Liverpool. I'm going to go for a 3-0 win to them to keep their winning streak going. The next game is Tottenham up against Burnley, and again, this to me looks like a Tottenham win and both teams to score. Previous week, I predicted that Tottenham would draw 2-2 with Manchester United. That's going to be a very, very exciting game. And Burnley, I predicted to lose to Manchester City, but still find the back of the net. And I think the same thing can happen here. Tottenham, they score a load of goals under Jose Mourinho. They keep doing that. They also let in a load of goals under Jose Mourinho and just outscore their opponents. And with a team like Burnley, it might be a bit slow starting, but I think Tottenham will be able to get the win here. I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Tottenham Hotspur. The next game is Watford up against Crystal Palace. This is going to be a very, very tough one. Stay away from this one. Don't bet on it. Don't even look at it. I get a funny feeling Watford are going to win. That doesn't make any sense. Why would they win? But at the same time, I feel like they could win. Screw it. I'm going to go for it. I'm not saying put this in your accumulators. Maybe both teams to score. But at the same time, just stay away from it. Stay away. You never know which Watford's going to turn up. Prime Watford or 2019 Watford. Palace also performed pretty well away from home as well, so this doesn't really make any sense. This is more of a gut feeling. I feel like a win for Watford just has to come eventually. Previous week, I predicted Watford to get slapped by Leicester 4-1, and then Palace I've spoken about already. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Watford. What a prediction that would be. It could easily be a draw. Could easily be a Palace win. Stay away from this one. Now, the next one, the big game, the Manchester Derby. I am so excited to be watching this one. Saturday is going to be a day of football for me and my dad. We're going to be watching Everton and Chelsea, the early kickoff. He's a Chelsea fan. And then we are going to tune in to the Manchester Derby at 5:30 as well. Obviously, I do think Manchester City are going to win this one at the Etihad. They do have that quality. Both teams to score looks pretty good because Man City are leaking those goals, and Man United going forward, they can be threatening if they're on their day. I'm not sure what availability looks like. I don't know if Paul Pogba's back in the team yet. Anthony Martial will probably play. Rashford's starting to find some form, scoring a few goals here and there. So I think it's going to be a great game regardless. The Derby atmosphere just brings something new to the table. So I'm going to go for a Manchester City home win and both teams to score 3-1 on the day. Could even be a 3-2. I doubt Man City are going to thrash Man United like 4-0. It doesn't happen often to United when you'd expect it. It more comes against the teams like Everton, like when they lost 4-0. That's when it happens. It doesn't happen when it looks more likely. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 win to Manchester City in this one. The next one, Aston Villa up against Leicester. I predicted Aston Villa would lose to Chelsea, but I'm on the fence about that one. They could sneak a draw. I don't think they're going to win at Stamford Bridge, but still, Leicester, I believe they beat Watford at the King Power Stadium. That's what I predicted in the previous match week. But again, these fixtures haven't happened. I'm going to go for a high-scoring game here. Aston Villa are going to be on the front foot at Villa Park, and I think Leicester are going to be playing some nice counter-attacking football away from home. So I'm going for goals galore in this fixture. A 3-2 away win to Leicester City. What a game that would be if that were to come to fruition. And the next game, Newcastle versus Southampton, a game where I am also predicting goals. Perhaps you might be a little bit surprised by that, but I am going to predict goals in this one. The previous week, I predicted Newcastle would lose away to Sheffield, and I predicted Southampton would beat Norwich. I'm still fairly confident with those predictions, I would say. I'm going to go for a high-scoring 2-2 draw between these two teams. Newcastle have been finding the net a little bit more lately. They scored the 2 goals against Manchester City. Southampton, they beat, who was it? They beat Watford 2-1, I correctly predicted, and even included in an accumulator a correct score 2-1 prediction for Southampton. So they can always find the back of the net. Newcastle, Southampton, both towards the bottom of the table. I think it's going to be high scoring. I'm going to go for that 2-2 draw. Now, the next game is a very tough one to predict because it's Norwich up against Sheffield United. And Norwich are very hot and cold. You never know, as I've said before, which Norwich, I guess, is going to turn up. Sheffield have been fairly consistent this season, and I think just on form alone, I think Sheffield United should be able to scrape past Norwich here. I'm going to go for a 2-1 away win to Sheffield United. Sheffield United's defence is very good, and I don't see them leaking more than 1 goal against Norwich, unlike Arsenal, who did do that. They drew 2-2, so yeah, I'm going to go with a 2-1 away win to Sheffield United. The next game is Brighton up against Wolves, and Wolves this season have been very good for a draw, and I am going to go for a draw in this fixture. If I had to pick a winner, I would go for a 2-1 away win to Wolves, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between the two teams. Brighton do play better at home. Wolves, like I said, they're always good for a draw. Brighton are fairly reliable for a draw when the teams are in and around them. I know Wolves are quite a bit higher up the table now, but I do think a draw looks pretty good on this one, so I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw between the two teams. And the final game, West Ham up against Arsenal, two teams that are in pretty dreadful form with all things considered, and Arsenal don't really perform that well away from home against West Ham. When was the last time they beat West Ham? They beat West Ham in 2016 away from home 5-1, which, okay, that's destruction. But the previous 2 times, it was a 1-0 win to West Ham and a 0-0 draw. Both very low scoring. I do not see that happening here because Arsenal are scoring goals and they are leaking goals, and I think that will allow West Ham to score some goals. They will know that they can do that, and I think it's going to be very similar to the Tottenham West Ham game. Same score, in fact, as well. I'm going to go for a 3-2 win to Arsenal. Away win. I mean, I predicted Arsenal's only away win this season. Do I think it's going to happen again? I'm going to try and back them. I'm going to try and back the boys. But, man, this is it's crunch time for Arsenal right now. So yeah, 3-2 win to Arsenal in that one. But that is going to do it for this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like on it. Subscribe today so you don't miss any future videos. I think the next video might be a Champions League predictions video. So get tuned in for that. And I will see you in the next video very soon.